Imagine a man so wealthy that his generosity caused a 10-year economic crisis. This is the story of Musa, the ruler of the Mali Empire in the 14th century. His pilgrimage to Cairo in 1324, where he distributed so much gold that it destabilized the Mediterranean economy, is just one chapter in the epic tale of African wealth. It's a story that begins over 5,000 years ago and continues to unfold today, as Africans reclaim their economic sovereignty. Let's start with the Mali Empire, one of the richest civilizations in history. The empire's wealth was built on gold, mined from the region's vast reserves. Musa's legendary pilgrimage was not just a display of piety but also a demonstration of economic power. His entourage included thousands of soldiers, merchants, and slaves, all carrying gold to distribute along the way. This event put Mali on the global map and established its dominance in the trans-Saharan trade network. But the Mali Empire was not alone. Across Africa, pre-colonial societies like the Songhai Empire and the Kingdom of Aksum had sophisticated economies based on trade, mining, and agriculture. These systems were destroyed by European colonization, which began in the late 19th century. Colonizers extracted Africa's wealth through forced labor, land dispossession, and exploitative trade policies. The effects of this extraction are still felt today, as African nations struggle with poverty and debt. In the United States, African Americans faced similar challenges. Black banks, founded in the late 19th century, were critical in generating wealth for African American communities. Banks like the First National Bank of Chicago and the Tri-State Bank of Memphis provided loans and financial services to black entrepreneurs and homeowners. Despite their success, these banks were systematically underfunded by the Federal Reserve, a policy that suppressed black wealth for decades. Mirza Shah's book, The Color of Money, reveals that black banks generated $1.2 billion in wealth between 1868 and 1950. But this achievement is often overlooked in mainstream history. Today, Africans are reclaiming their economic sovereignty through innovative strategies. In Nigeria, Idowu Koyenekan's book Wealth for All Africans has inspired a grassroots wealth movement. Over 50,000 individuals have adopted personal finance strategies, such as investing in the Nigerian stock exchange and joining micro-investment clubs. These clubs pool resources to invest in businesses and real estate, helping members transition from debt to wealth. In East Africa, families are building generational wealth through collective wealth pools and intergenerational land trusts. Ninsima Kakura's books Rich in Africa and Building Generational Black Wealth highlight these practices, which are now being adopted by banks and investment firms. In South Africa, Mothupi Kopa's book African Wealth Paradigm Shift introduces the concept of African wealth sovereignty. Kopa argues that African economies must decouple from Western financial models to achieve true independence. This idea is gaining traction in South African economic circles and is influencing policy discussions at the South African Reserve Bank. The journey from debt to riches is not easy, but it is possible. Fumalil Ndumo's book From Debt to Riches documents a grassroots movement in Nigeria where over 10,000 individuals have transitioned from debt to wealth through micro-investment clubs and community-based lending. This movement is a testament to the resilience and ingenuity of African people. As we look to the future, one thing is clear: African wealth is not just a historical phenomenon but a living, evolving reality. By reclaiming their economic sovereignty, Africans are building a future where wealth is not just for the few but for all. This is the story of African wealth, a story of resilience, innovation, and hope.